Hi everyone, this is Sonila from Mediterranean and Latin loveaffair.com, and today I'd love to share with you a dish which in my native language Albanian is called Tave me Peshk dhe me Qepe. It's a baked sea bream seafood dish which is made with lots of onions. Some of the ingredients I use for this dish are onions, garlic, tomatoes, lots of fresh parsley, tomato paste, bay leaf, oregano, marjoram, salt, pepper, olive oil, and so on. So I start by chopping 4 large yellow onions. You can roughly chop them. You don't have to be like really detailed and dice them really thin, just roughly chop them, and mince the garlic, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, as many as you want to taste as well. Any seafood dish accepts like a higher amount of garlic if you want to increase the garlic. I just chop the garlic or mince it, put it over the onions, and then I add 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil on a large pot. I start initially medium heat, and then I add the onions and the garlic, and I saute them until the garlic becomes aromatic and the onions become translucent. Meanwhile, I use the tomatoes. I try to get them as soft as possible, or I buy them a few days ahead, so they will be soft when I'm using them for this dish, because I'll blend them. So you don't want them to be firm, you want them to be as soft as possible, kind of like right before they go bad. So you want them to still be red, but full of juice. So when you blend them, you get a nice consistency. I'll proceed in cooking the onions and the garlic. You cook them down, you let the onions sweat, and I lower the temperature of the stove top a little bit, and I keep cooking the onions. It's a process. You have to keep mixing and stirring. You kind of want the onions to get light brown, golden brown, without actually burning. So that's why you have to keep stirring often. The onions will release their own juices, so it's kind of like you just have to be patient, cook it as long as possible, and then you add sea salt, black pepper, bay leaves, oregano, marjoram. Like you add all the seasonings to the onion and the garlic, and then I proceed to add the blended tomatoes. So I blended 3 tomatoes. As for the seasonings, that's a little bit up to taste. I'll write the quantities down for each of the seasonings. I use about 1 cup of fresh parsley, like finely chopped. Add that to the sauce, to the onion sauce, and then I lower the heat to simmer, cover the sauce, and let it cook for a while. And then I add the tomato paste, and you can add the marjoram at this point, or you can add it earlier when I added the oregano. That's totally up to you. And as the sauce is cooking, then I'll take care of seasoning the fish. The fish that I buy nowadays, I buy it at Costco, so it comes already gutted and it doesn't have any scales. Like, it needs very minimal cleaning. So you just have to make sure that it's not frozen. Or if you kept it frozen, you have to thaw it beforehand. You can cut the little fins with a knife, or you can use scissors, kitchen scissors, and then pat the fish dry. I love to use whole fish. I feel it keeps the flavor much better, but if you don't like whole fish, you can remove the head, or you can ask the fishmonger to just chop the head off. Then I start seasoning. Once I've patted dry the fish, I season thoroughly. Like, you have to have good amount of salt and pepper to the fish. Then I cut like couple of slits through the fish, Those who help with seasoning, I tend to insert lemon on the cuts that I make on the fish. And it also helps if you want to fillet the fish later after it's baked. If you want to cut just a small piece of it, it also helps with that. So it's twofold. It helps with seasoning and it helps season afterward, cut afterwards smaller pieces. Then I start adding the lemon slices over the fish, and then I add also a little bit of lemon juice throughout to season it properly. And also I add herbs. Like when it comes to herbs, you can do lemon slices with rosemary, you can use thyme. There are so many, you can use dill. There are so many herbs you can use to season the fish, and that's optional, that's up to you. Once the tomato sauce with the onions it's ready, then I pour that over the baking dish and I create some spaces for the fish. Obviously, the fish is really big, so it's going to take over the baking dish. So you kind of have to push the sauce aside. The sauce is kind of giving flavor, and it's a small side dish. It's not going to be a lot. And I add more rosemary for flavor, more lemon slices. You can also add some more salt if you feel it needs it at this point. And I bake this dish at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Or you can do 25 minutes of baking and 5 minutes of broiling if you want a little bit of the charred look on the surface of the fish. And usually I love to serve this dish with like a big salad and the onions as a side dish. You can do potatoes, roasted potatoes, and garnish it a little bit with parsley for that beautiful final look. And enjoy. Like, I hope you really try it. Like a baked whole fish is just a typical Mediterranean way of baking the fish, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Let me know in comments if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.